Hey everyone, I decided to do an Akashic reading for the collective. So instead of a normal twin flame reading like I normally do, I this is an Akashic spread, and I pulled additional information. So with the Akashic spread, we have the present situation, we have the foundation of the present situation and the influencing factors, and then the outcome. And then with the extra information, that's pretty much whatever Spirit wants to tell me. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to see what would happen if I did a full-on Akashic reading for the collective as a whole, to see where, well, I say where we're at, but that's subjective because not every twin flame pair is at the exact same spot, okay, in your journey. So, I mean, this is where everybody is headed. I can tell you that. This is definitely where everybody is headed. And I would say that this is probably closest to first wave twins because they're at the head of the line, basically. They're at the head of, like, they're the first wave headed to shore. So they are probably the closest. And then, you know, each wave behind is a little bit further away from it, but everybody's headed in the same direction, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get started. Let me put this down. I'm in my bedroom today. Now, the present situation came with two cards, Views of the Ego and Winged Messengers. So with Views of the Ego, I mean, some of these cards you're going to remember from my previous readings. And with Views of the Ego, it's about, it's referring to karmic situations. Now, I do want to pause and say that obviously not every single twin flame pair is dealing with karmic partners. Although, I think it's safe to say that most, if not all, are dealing with karmic situations. So those aren't necessarily the same thing. It doesn't, karmic situations, when I say that, I mean it's not necessarily a romantic partner. But the reason why I feel that most are probably dealing with karmic situations is because, you know, there are reasons why you're in separation. You know, there are wounds that are being healed, and that is clearing, a lot of it is clearing karma from the past, whether that's in this current lifetime or previous lifetimes. And you know, there is the whole point of karmic partners and karmic situations is that it is bringing people or situations into your lives that teach you lessons, that force you to release those karmic wounds, force you to learn how to get on the path to your true authentic self, instead of living from the ego or living from society templates that are not accurate to what our spirit and our souls want for us, and in healing and releasing any wounds associated with anything, and from the karma to, you know, mother-father wounds are extremely common, from the inner child, from childhood, and past life wounds are very common as well. We don't even realize how much there are things from our past lives that we have to heal over the course of our lives. And that's what the twin flame journey does. It heals that stuff as well. So I do think that it's very relevant to say that even if your twin flame doesn't have a karmic partner, karmic situations can still apply. So that could look like family members who are toxic, who are, you know, like I said, teaching them lessons about what they need for themselves. That could be work situations, it could be bosses, it could be friends. Honestly, I am also feeling like with this Views of the Ego card, and you know, honestly, when you look at it, you wouldn't think that it's about someone else. And the card is in fact about someone else. But I could also see this as the ego center within someone. So like that karmic individual is the toxic egocentric side of themselves to some extent, because there are divine masculines who have been living their lives from this toxic masculine center. Actually, I'm not sure if it's toxic masculine or toxic feminine, but from this toxic ego center that has not allowed them to move forward in ways that they're supposed to. And that is something that they have to release. And you could almost see that as a separate part of themselves that is in the process of them being released and them turning away from that. So, and even if there isn't one specific individual situation, someone who is still not fully healed and ready for union, there's still something that they are needing to address. So I think that it is safe to say that everyone is dealing with some type of karmic situation, okay? Even if it's not a karmic partner. So take that into consideration, because I will say that the vast majority of my readings, both collective and with clients, involve karmic partners or karmic situations of some sort, and the feminines have them as well. The masculines aren't the only ones. With the feminines, it's more likely to be a situation than a partner, but sometimes it's a partner as well. So just keep that in mind, okay? So with the present situation, any toxic karmic situations and karmic partners are in the process. You guys as twins, and I'm saying this way on purpose, it's not just the divine masculines, it's the divine feminines as well. You guys are in the process of listening to your higher self, listening to your guardian angels and your spirit guidance, your whole team, and listening to them guide you away from these situations and away from these people. You're recognizing that you being you, plural, divine feminines and divine masculines as a whole, are recognizing that these individuals, whether it's one person situations or even that egocentric side of themselves, you're recognizing that those I wish there was a universal word I could use for them, but those, I'm trying to think. Well, I'm just going to say individuals. Those individuals have been tolerated for too long. They only care about themselves. They're not thinking about what is best for you. And that goes as well for the egocentric side, because the egocentric side is not thinking about what's best for the soul. It's only thinking about what's best for the ego. So yeah, my words are a little choppy because I'm trying to apply it to all potential situations. But anyway, like I was saying, awakening divine masculines and feminines are realizing that they need to walk away from these situations and these people who are not looking out for themselves, who are not looking out for the twins, who are not looking out for their authentic selves and their souls and what is right for them, and they're following their guidance to move in the direction of where their soul is leading them, where your higher selves are leading you, and you are avoiding and ignoring potential conflict and drama that is trying to be created by these individuals to retain some sort of control or influence. Okay, so now looking at the foundation, like, okay, can I just point out to you guys here, look, there are 3 kings here. King of Forces, King of Scrolls, King of Keys. These divine masculines are stepping into their power, and the Queen of Roses is represented up here. Okay, I am blown away by this. Actually, let me give you a quick, I can probably, honestly, this is pretty straightforward, and I could do the whole thing real quick right here because it's so amazingly beautiful. So I just explained to you the present situation. Foundation here. These divine masculines are stepping into their power and embracing the energy and strength within themselves, so that they can take ownership of their lives. They're being restored to balance energetically. Light is being shed on all unjust situations so that they can balance the scales and bring things together like they're meant to. Any separations that need to happen, like Spirit is literally coming in, and anything that the masculines have not actually, I don't even want to say masculines, feminines as well, both sides. Anything that Penny One has not taken steps to do on their own, Spirit is going to come in and is going to make it happen. These separations from these karmic situations have been needing to happen for a long time. They've been in the process of happening for a long time. This card specifically says, like, this is not a new situation. These things, like, you've known that this needs to happen. And you twins have been in the process of bringing about these things. But when the time is right, when it's supposed to happen, if it hasn't happened yet already, Spirit's going to make it happen, okay? And that is going to open up, sorry, I'm a little shaky. That is going to open up the pathways for brand new beginnings. The King of Scrolls, these divine masculines are going through their spiritual awakening. They're opening themselves up to expanded knowledge and spiritual awareness and understanding, and they're ready to move forward. Their crown chakras and their third eyes are opening, and they're ready to move forward on their paths as authentic individuals and in their spiritual power as well. Now, specifically influencing this situation, these divine masculines are now stepping into a period of abundance and success and prosperity. So that gain helps their root chakra, helps their self-worth, and it helps them have even more confidence walking away here. And so they are stepping into all of that power in their material world, power and strength in their material world as well. And something that's important, I feel, okay, I'm going to put it down now because I feel like I'm too shaky. Something that's important that I like to note here. There we go. See this castle in the distance? We don't have the Queen of Keys card out here, but on her card, she's standing on one of these terraces, and she's looking out at her king who's on his way back to her. And both cards say, like, he's on his way home, and hers says that she's looking out at her king on his way home. So I really love that symbolism here and that representation that in the physical world, these kings are on their way home to their queens, okay? And they're coming back with prosperity and abundance and success, and they're ready to move forward in their lives. The waterfall card I want to read because it's not as straightforward of a card, so I prefer to read the actual meaning that it states there. It is about them, just like with the King of Forces, it's about them finding all of their personal strength and power within so that they can take the steps that they need to take in their lives in order to bring about these separations, okay? And what it says here is this card reminds you of your incredible personal power and supports you in opening up to the force within. Know that you are a dynamo in the universe. You have the ability to shape any situation in a way that honors you and moves your life forward. Your life force is never ending. It springs from your eternal past and roars into your limitless future, extending into the farthest reaches of the universe. This is also a time of deep thought and even deeper emotions, as well as an expansion of psychic energy. Use this time to act on these and tap your power that is ever flowing. So that is basically Spirit is saying all of that power and strength is coming to these divine masculines and helping to fuel them. They're feeling it, they're embracing it, and it's fueling them for them to leave the karmic situations behind. And then when we get to the outcome, I mean, did you get a good look at that before? Because we literally have here divine union, sacred contract with the Queen of Roses and loving elementals means and more fun and joy and happiness coming to your lives, okay? And now this Queen of Roses card, I mean, this is straightforward, and this is straightforward. The Queen of Roses, it can also, I mean, it represents, actually, let me just read it to you. Rather than paraphrasing, let me just read it to you as soon as I find it here. The Queen of Roses signifies a woman who is loving and supportive, but with a passionate side as well. A relationship with someone you know may deepen and become more meaningful. So be open to this connection, which I mean, duh, here. And you, divine feminines, are ready to step into the role of wife and mother, and it's time for your loving energy to be voiced. This card represents a happy resolution to difficulties in any relationships, and it's a time of peaceful, loving connections. So open your heart to the expression of caring within and around you. So this doesn't just represent divine feminines embracing their nurturing feminine power, but it also represents divine unions, just like the commitment card does. And like I said, happy, more joyful, more loving, and fun times are ahead. So was that Akashic spread not the most beautiful you've ever seen? Like literally 3 amazing kings stepping into their power, separation of the karmic situations, balance restored, justice served, and divine union. I mean, hello, gorgeous. And like such a gift from spirit to show us that. So when I asked for more information about, gosh, I can't remember exactly what I said. Probably, what other information can you tell me? Spirit, because that's usually along the lines. Spirit will always tell us what we need to know. So we have here, going from the outcome cards. Divine feminines, see that feminine there? Divine feminines and spirit are inspiring divine masculines to move forward how they need to. And honestly, you could also say spirit is inspiring divine feminines to move forward how they need to. Archangel Raphael is working with you guys to help mend any pain from the past, to bring people into your lives that are meant to help you, whether that's readers, healers, people like friends who can actually, like in the real world, help you guys find your way back together. This card also specifically says that Archangel Raphael is assisting in reunions. And I'm trying to think, is there something else? I'm going to look real quick, but I'm pretty sure that that's the main gist of it, that Archangel Raphael is assisting you guys in coming back together. Blessings, it's about bringing in new opportunities as well, and blessings abound. So that way, it's not just about, it's not just about reuniting, it's also about opportunities and blessings coming to you. The King of Roses is the match to the Queen of Roses. So, I mean, here's that match. Here's the last king as well. And it means the same thing as what I read to you from the Queen of Roses. It's that man who is ready to step in his loving and passionate power for his queen. It represents divine union, and it represents a man who is ready to become a husband and a father. So, this is all extremely, speaking more to the outcome and very beautiful. And then with the scribe, I really feel here that the message with the scribe is that you guys are ready you're coming together and you're ready to write a new chapter for your lives, basically. To start off, you're birthing a new chapter, and you're ready to write that new chapter together. And it doesn't even matter, like, you're leaving society templates behind, because something I want to point out real quick. So many people get caught up on things like marriages and things in the material world, home purchases, children, marriages, all the types of things, living together, all the types of things that, in our 3D world, you associate that with, oh, this person is tied down. Yeah, those things, happen and they exist, but those are not the end of this. Those don't make anything final. The only thing that's final is death, okay? And it doesn't matter if your twin is living with someone else, married to someone else, owns property with someone else, that if they are not supposed to be with that person, their soul doesn't want them there and will guide them away from that. And all of those things can be undone, okay? Understand that with twin flames, your spirits, your higher selves, your guardian angels, God himself only cares about what is meant for your soul, and your twin flame is your soul contract. Your twin flame is a sacred spiritual marriage and contract, and that's where you're supposed to be. And nobody can fight that forever. It doesn't matter that divine masculines and sometimes divine feminines too run from the connection at different phases of the journey. It's understandable that you fight it, because your spirit is forcing you to shift from a 3D mindset to a 4D or 5D mindset that is a higher understanding and is a spiritual understanding and acceptance. And spirit does not care about what society templates look like. Spirit does not care about what you were raised to think about different things from a religious standpoint or from a society standpoint. Spirit only cares about where your soul is meant to be. And everything that happens in our lives is meant to be lessons that guide us back to our authentic selves and towards enlightenment. And that includes other relationships and karmic relationships and other marriages and children. It includes all of those things. That doesn't mean that those things are meant to last forever. We are taught that they are meant to last forever, but that's not true. And that it can't be true if it's the right person, but if it's not the right person, it's not true. And you need to forgive yourselves for anything like that, and you need to forgive your twins for anything like that. They will find their way. Spirit forces everybody through this awakening and this transformation, and they will get through it, and they will find their way, and they will exit those 3D contracts that they have made, whether they are actual paper contracts or just agreements. They will make the changes that they need to make, because you cannot deny your soul forever, okay? So, continuing on. This scribe card also says here, this period of higher mind and higher learning is nothing less than a change your life or even change the world opportunity. So, as divine unions come together, you are experiencing a great upsweep and awakening in mind and soul, and it is leading you to significant changes in your life, and also potentially even helping the world for some of you. Also know that this can represent that any legal matters that may be involved, which ironically I was just talking about, legal stuff that can pertain with karmic situations, those will all be resolved for the greater good, and you don't need to worry, okay? Now, I don't remember why I kept asking questions, but I did. I just kept asking, okay, tell me more, Spirit, tell me more. So, Spirit is in the process of assisting all twins in clearing out any obstacles that may be in the way of divine unions. Any particularly severe karmic situations that have twins caught, stuck, like this card depicts, those are in the process of being removed. Okay, now I left all the cards upright, but I actually feel like this one should probably be reversed. And what it means reversed is that this confining situation is coming to an end. So those twins who have been in this type of situation, Spirit is showing them that power within themselves, right? Remember, Spirit is making them feel that power within themselves so that they recognize that they can break free from these limits, whether they've been self-imposed or imposed by others. They're in the process of escaping and putting those literal, like sometimes literal, sometimes figurative prisons in the past, and leaving those self-limiting beliefs behind them as well, so that they are able to move forward into growth and harvest and abundance in the future. Okay? So as twins, either side, feminine or masculine, are going through these changes, there may be a period of, of focusing on the loss that is involved with that. I'm sure that this is more so going to apply with, with toxic twins. They're not going to care, not twins, toxic karmics. They're not going to care about leaving the karmic behind. But when there's children involved, when the situations are complicated, yeah, like there's a lot to deal with there. All sorts of things, fear, anxiety, worry about the kids, about themselves, about all sorts of things. So yeah, there is going to be some focus on that. You have to expect that because it's not easy to shift from the 3D to the 4D to the 5D. They are going to go through a period of releasing those worries and that sense of loss. But they're going to shift their focus. Let's pay attention to that golden light coming out of the tiny chest on the table that you can barely see. They're going to shift their focus back to the treasure that they still have within themselves and the bright future that they have. Disruptive events may have made you feel vulnerable, but they don't define you, and Spirit is unveiling much more light and power within and around you that the immediate future is going to step into. So that the immediate future fills with manifest opportunity as well as new and abundant offerings from the universe that are coming to you now. Okay, so then as twins shift out of this state after escaping these toxic situations because Spirit has cleared the way, then we shift into a time of action. We're going with the Summer card. That's definitely the meaning here. So then we shift into a time of action in order to start the process of reaping the harvest that we've sown, because summer comes after spring. During spring is when you're planting the seeds for this new chapter. Summer is about taking action to bring all of that to fruition and to make to fulfill all of these wishes. Some of those wishes fulfilled is going to come about from hard work that you guys are taking in order to change your lives. And some of that is going to be from Spirit basically blessing you and bringing all of this abundance to you as like a reward for doing the hard work, for getting through this journey, for making these changes in your life, and for embracing it all, for going through the spiritual awakening, and for doing the hard work. I'm just checking here if there's anything else from the Summer card I want to say. This is the perfect time to take steps towards your personal goals. There may be something you can do to accelerate your professional life as well. Action is an important part of the cycle, which I just told you. Take action in whatever will help with enhancing your love life. And this is the perfect time to create a smiling, self-loving energy and project it outward for the world to see. Oh, and it also refers to a potential trip and movement of some kind. So any twins that need to move, whether that's literally moving out of the houses with their karmics or move to a different city to be closer to their twins or to visit them and then make plans for however you guys want to proceed, expect all of that to happen as well. Okay. Now we have setting your course. Divine masculines are setting their courses to come to their queen of forces. And that can also be divine feminine setting their courses to become the queen of forces, but I do think it makes more sense the other way, but I think that you can see it both ways. One of the things that I like about setting your course is that it specifically states that the opportunities are endless right now, that you should not limit yourself. You should widen your scope. There's limitless options and boundless wealth for you. There's all sorts of ways that you can move forward. And again, travel or relocation may occur. I know that there's another card that refers to travel or relocation as well, just so you know. So that's 3. The Queen of Forces is the match to the King of Forces. Divine Feminines, you are stepping into your power. You're feeling all of the strength within you to take control of your lives and move forward how you are meant to, both individually, like personally, as well as with your kings when they come to you. I do believe this represents you setting your course together, okay? But I also like here how the Queen of Forces says, you hold the forces of the sun, creativity, and the moon, receptivity, and only you yourself can direct the energy of your eternal life. But it's about you recognizing that you hold those power in your hands, because look at how her hands are stretched out, palms upward, with both the sun and the moon above them. Like, you recognize that you have that power and that new opportunities and roles are coming to you now. So you're stepping into that understanding and strength, okay? This is a phase of great power and an ability to sustain it with wonderful results. There you go. Okay, so Queens, you're stepping into your power. And together, you guys are, again, as a whole, divine feminines, divine masculines, and together, like both individually and together, you are taking control of your lives. You're becoming the architects of your lives and shaping every step that you take, shaping this new chapter. And this, you remember we talked about, you guys are birthing a brand new chapter for yourselves, and birthing brand new lives for yourselves as well, because you went through this huge transformation also. So you're becoming the architect of your lives, both as individuals and together. And you are also stepping into positions of power, professionally speaking as well. Or maybe it's not professional, but maybe it's just in other aspects of your lives, whether it's a leadership role that you're taking. You're recognizing your talents and strengths, and you're using them to help others and push you to I can't talk and shift your life forward. Okay, feel the command you have over the great scope of the situation and take charge. An opportunity beckons that utilizes your skills perfectly. And with the Master Artisan, that's about okay, so basically that's like the shift from here to here. And look, it's 1 to 8 as well. So beginning, and this is actually more representative of infinity, like an ever flowing. And the Master Artisan represents, now that you are stepping into your power, you become you're stepping into that leadership role, and you become a leader in whatever world it is for you. So I would say as twin flames, you're stepping into that leadership role in the twin flame community, but it's also in your professional lives as well, or whatever hobby or interest or whatever it was that I was referring to as well, how it would apply to you. You're stepping into a leadership role, and you're contributing your talents and your purpose and your gifts back to the world. And you should not be shy, and it's not the time to hide your light under a basket, which we know that song, right? It's Spirit is specifically saying it's not the time to hide your light under a basket. It's time for you to step up and contribute your talents and gifts, which that can definitely be in a spiritual sense with the spiritual gifts as well. And it also says here, you may even be pulled into teaching or training others as well. So I think that makes complete sense going through the twin flame journey, just in helping other twins and helping others in the community. So just keep that in mind, you guys, okay? Even if your gifts lie in the ability for loving, compassionate care, you will be sharing these gifts with others as well. You can also build your reputation and take advantage of opportunities that come your way. So take action, put yourself out there, and let yourself shine. There is much beauty and empowerment for you to bring to the world. Okay, I just remembered the reason why I pulled so many cards on the supporting information, because I don't always pull that many. This is the same thing as my Akashic reading that I have in my shop. I do the Akashic spread and I pull supporting cards, and I pull the number of supporting cards that I intuitively feel to pull. I just remember that the reason why I pulled more was because I know that it's not just about the relationship, it's about other aspects of our lives as well. So I felt that the spread spoke to the relationship, and then I wanted Spirit to talk to me more about the other aspects of our lives, and our transformations as well, and the spiritual awakening as well. So that's why I pulled so many cards, to get as much information as possible. So I think these speak perfectly to both your destiny as once you reach twin flame union and helping others and helping Earth and humanity, as well as in your professional lives and in your hobbies. And the reason why I differentiate between professional and hobbies is because I'm talking about what your soul is meant to do. Not everybody has a job that is something that your soul is meant to do. Not everybody has a career that is like that. But you should still feel a passion and feel a soul purpose and a life purpose and a calling. And that's what this is referring to. That's where Spirit is leading you down. Whether you earn money in that respect or not is different. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then we have in Crescent Moon, which is another card of success. Like, I will read it so that you can hear it, because it's not obvious from the card. But it specifically says that this is an exciting time of increased abundance and growth. Your efforts have combined with external circumstances, and even the stars have aligned. The stars have aligned because these journeys are written in the stars. They are our destiny. They are written in our Akashic Records. Our souls agreed to it before incarnation, and our higher selves planned them out. Every detail, both good and bad. I have experienced it. You have no idea how much that this entire thing is controlled by our higher selves and our spirit guides to process and align exactly how it's meant to. There may be adjustments required here and there due to free will choices, but spirit has much more control than what you realize, okay? And spirit is leading you there and helping to align everything so that you can reach your outcome, which is everything. It's not just the relationship, it's everything about yourself and your own transformation as well. There is great opportunity for increase and fulfillment in every way. Just do your work and get ready to receive. Okay? And then the last row is only 3 cards because I was like, Spirit, I know you still have something else to tell me here, because they had not spoken a lot yet about the spiritual journey. And I feel that they didn't speak too much on the spiritual journey because it's not as intense for everybody. Not the spiritual journey is, but I mean the spiritual purposes. So not every twin flame has a huge spiritual purpose in the world as well, meaning like you're supposed to become a clairvoyant and do this, this, and this to help people. Like not everybody has that. I know that I have that, and I know others that have that, but not everybody does. Many twin flames their purpose is simply to raise the vibration of humanity and earth and help teach people about unconditional love, and it's as simple as that. But many do have a bigger spiritual purpose. So I did pull one more time because I was looking to see, are you going to speak more about the spiritual purpose? Because I have seen some amazing readings with that, even for my own twin and myself, that blew me away, and others. But Spirit didn't speak a lot about that. So I feel that that's about, like I just said, that not everybody has a huge spiritual mission as well. But what this does mean here, the Oracle of Delphi is straightforward, meaning that Spirit is guiding each of you. Like, listen to your intuition, hone in on it. Your higher selves and your spirit guides are leading and guiding each of you and opening up your spiritual and psychic awareness. This is a time of great insight and psychic power. Even if you don't recognize it, it lies very close to your consciousness because you have used this gift in so many past lives. You may get images or feelings without knowing how to interpret them. Take notes as you practice both your psychic perceptions and their interpretations. Okay? So allow to connect to your intuition, focus on working, focus on doing energy work for your third eye and your crown chakras that will help you open up to that and open up to the profound awareness and psychic perceptions that are all around you, that Spirit is bringing you to help guide you down your journey. Reflection is another card that speaks to travel or relocating. So again, remember I told you there was 3 cards. It also speaks to that spiritual expansion. This reveals that you now have a direct line to your psychic gifts. You are also more aware of your emotions and more reflective about them. You recognize the difference between your intuitive voice, which is calm and assured, and your lower emotional compulsions, which are urgent and sometimes fear-based. Make sure you guys are paying attention to those differences, okay? Let yourself gain even greater clarity and control over your emotions now. This is a great time, if you are so inclined, to take classes in meditation, psychic development, counseling, healing, and other psychological and spiritual arts. Okay? Your yin side is wide open and your receptivity is high. Trust your inner voice and you'll be guided to greatness. Okay? And now the last card, which is beautiful. First of all, hold on. Take a good look at this card. There's literally, with this girl, there's a guardian angel, there's loved ones, there's fairies. It really represents that your entire spiritual team is with you and guiding you guys, okay? And that in itself is beautiful. And this card actually has 3 meanings. And one of them is that it affirms your own strength and focus in the present. It reminds you that, just like what I just said, Spirit is always with you, is always there for you, is always guiding you, reaching out, sharing their divine light and power, and serving you however they can. And then lastly, and this is my favorite part, This card declares the arrival at your goals and all your wishes coming true. Okay, so when you get this, know that you're on your way to the results you seek with the help of others and the glorious help of Spirit. Everything is in the process of coming together, you guys. And no matter where you are at on your journey, whether you're in the first wave and you're super close to union, or if you're in a newer wave and you're still struggling through, you know, the runner phases of separation where your twin is fighting the connection, it doesn't matter where you're at. Everybody is headed in the same direction and Spirit is helping to guide you. I know how hard it is to surrender to trust and faith in the outcome and everything happening, but this is all a process that your spirit guides and your higher selves are leading you through to release the teachings that have been ingrained in us by society and religion, to help us expand our awareness to, spiritually speaking, to open up to our authentic selves, to become who we are truly meant to be, and then to be in this amazing, unconditionally loving relationship that we are meant to have, and bring in the abundance and blessings that we are meant to have. So have faith and trust in that, and do whatever you can to release your fears and worries. Get out of that 3D energy, get out of that fear-based energy, release those fears and worries, and go confidently into the future. And I just noticed that the last card we have is 22, and I don't know about anybody else, but I have been getting non-stop 22s everywhere I look, which has been recurring in my journey for quite a while anyway, for years, but there was a particular uptick in that recently in 2021. And what the number 22 means is basically, I don't have the thing to look it up, but the number 22 means to have faith and allow Spirit to bring the final steps, final things that need to occur together as you, I wish I could remember the exact meaning, but basically that's what it means. Maintain your faith and know and allow Spirit to bring about the final steps and actions that need to occur in order to bring things together. Okay, that's what it means. And you can look it up. Google angel numbers 22, or there's a book by Doreen Virtue about angel number meanings that you can get as well. Okay, so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Let me know your thoughts, and I will be back soon.